Dealing with anxiety. It's something that has been quite severe in my life. I'm a very anxious person, and it's been something that's become very debilitating in my life. I think at its worst stage, it almost felt like it was a cancer in my body that was just eating away at me, and it caused me to have, I guess, this anxiety to even go outside, and this anxiety to even be alone with my thoughts because I was so severely anxious. And I guess I've kind of hesitated to do this topic because I don't want to be a fraud, and I don't want to give advice when I myself am struggling with that area. So I say this to let you know that, first of all, it is something I have severely struggled with for a long time, and I still do struggle with on a daily basis. But today, in this moment, I feel that I've come to a sense of being able to manage my anxiety, and I've learnt some things that are helping me to feel less anxious in the day, and I really want to share these with you. And I think it's something that you probably need to do for a long period of time before you can truly say that you have learnt to manage your anxiety. You practice the techniques, and over time, hopefully your brain starts to adjust and you learn to a new way of thinking. So I want to share with you the things that I recommend for dealing with anxiety. The first thing is get on the right medication. If you are severely depressed and you have a lot of anxiety, you really do need to be on a medication. And if you're feeling a bit scared of trying one, or if you've had a bad experience, I recommend seeing a psychiatrist. I myself have been on a number of different medications, and it's taken me a while to find one that is suitable for me and my lifestyle. So I highly recommend that you see psychiatrists. That's what they're trained to do. They're trained to help people with mental illness find a medication that is right for them. So you'll only come out a winner if you do take that step and make an appointment with a psychiatrist, because it will make a difference. And for me personally, I can say that when I'm on a good medication, it does make a huge difference. It doesn't complete the whole picture of maintaining mental health, but it is a huge thing, especially if you are severely depressed. You definitely need to find a medication that works for you. So don't give up. There are a lot of different medications, and we're constantly advancing in medicine, so don't give up. The second thing I recommend is to see a psychologist. But if that is not available to you, I highly recommend reading about cognitive behaviour therapy. I'm reading a book at the moment. I'll put the details in the description box. But basically, the things shown in the book on CBT are often the kinds of things you'll learn in a counselling session. And it's been extremely helpful for me. I started reading that book when I was feeling, I guess, debilitated. I felt like I was at the end of my rope with anxiety, and I almost gave up and thought, I just need to take some sort of sedative every single day to get through. So I started reading this book, and it really has helped change my mind. Very slowly, very gradual. Often, when you're learning new techniques, even if you haven't mastered the techniques, just knowing of them, inviting them into your life, it can often help you. And that's what I found with CBT, is that even though I don't know all the techniques and I haven't mastered it and I still struggle with anxiety, but the fact that I'm knowing another way to think, another more healthy way to think, it's been really helpful. And one of the things I've noticed with people with anxiety is, even though in one sense they know their anxiety is irrational, in another sense, why are they holding on to it? And it's because we deep down believe that the anxiety is helping us in some way. We think that it's protecting us. So what CBT will show you is that there's another way to protect yourself. There's another way to prepare you for the complications of life. Stuff is going to happen in your life. You're going to face problems. And that's just a fact of life. But you don't have to live anxiously in order to protect yourself and be prepared for the bad things that may happen. There are other ways. And one of the best mantras you can tell yourself is, I will cope. And it's true, you will cope. As long as you believe that you can cope, you will cope. And that's really the key for CBT, is learning that no matter what happens, you can cope. And lastly, I recommend relaxation techniques. The reason I say relaxation as opposed to meditation is because I believe when someone is severely depressed, as I am, the last thing you want to do is to meditate for 20 minutes. Clearing your mind. You just can't do that. How can you go from being severely depressed to just clearing your mind for 20 minutes? It's going to be too much of a stretch for you, and it's going to cause you more stress. So what I recommend is relaxation. It's kind of like the stepping stone to meditation. It's basically much shorter lengths of time. And the one that I have, the relaxation CD I have, it basically, it teaches me to imagine peaceful scenarios, and so my mind is still focusing on an image. It's not being forced to just let go of everything, but it's focusing my energy and my mind on something. And that in itself is, I guess, teaching you to live in the moment and showing you how to soothe yourself. And so once I master the relaxation techniques, I'll probably move on to meditation. And so with the relaxation, I probably do that once or twice a day, depending on how I'm feeling. So these are the things I do to deal with anxiety. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm really peaceful all the time and at ease. I'm not, but these are the tools I know work, and I'm slowly starting to see some improvement in my anxiety. So all the best, and until next time, peace.